Nipissing News Desk. I'm Sean Winter with your nightly update on what's going on in your Lakers athletics. This evening, we have a serious topic to discuss as questions arise about which comes first in varsity athletics, the student or the athlete. To discuss the issue, we have Granger Monroe live in the field with some of our varsity athletes.
Thanks, Sean. I'm here with Dane Horvat from the men's hockey team. Dane, have you faced many situations where you're forced to choose between school and sport?
Yes, definitely. With a heavy school workload and a busy hockey schedule, I oftentimes have to, at least once a week, miss practice for school.
Okay. What was your coach's position on the matter? Was the coaching staff lenient about missing practice for class, or did they have a school comes second mentality?
Mike is pretty good for things like that. It really depends on the time of year,
okay.
But he's never actually said miss class for practice or anything. But,
what were your coach's suggestions on how to deal with the conflict?
Take a lighter course load, manage your time a lot more effectively, especially as a student athlete.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think these are appropriate suggestions from your coach?
Yes, I do, and no. With the reduced course load, honestly, in order to get my degree, I'm going to have to stay back an extra year, which is going to obviously cost a full year's tuition. So having enough money to pay for that is kind of unfair.
Thanks for your time, Dave.
Thank you.
Coming out. Have a good one. And back to you, Sean.
Thank you, Granger. The first suggestion of taking a reduced course load comes at a cost. Not only does that entail the cost of extra years or semesters, but also prolongs the process of getting into the working field, which many student athletes cannot afford.
Hi, Sean. I'm here with Tori Labreco from the women's soccer team. Tori, have you been faced with many situations where you had to choose between school and sport?
Yeah, definitely. There's been times where we've had to add in practices when I've had class, and we're students first, so I have to miss practice for the class.
What were your coach's suggestions on how to deal with this conflict?
When I was first picking my courses, he told me to take a really easy elective in hopes that that would take away some of the weight of all the schoolwork that I had, but it turned out that the elective I chose actually didn't benefit me at all. So I think I would have rather take a class that would help me with my second teachable, because teaching is what I want to do, so if I could go back and change that, I definitely would have.
Okay. I feel as though these were appropriate suggestions as you being a university student.
No, I don't. I think that I should have been more geared towards like my education in the future, and I think that him telling me to take an easier class didn't benefit me at all. So if their theory of wanting us to be students first is true, then they should be happy with the course of speech they gave me.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Tori.
Oh, anytime.
And it's back to you, Sean.
Many programs, including the BPHE program Tori is taking, don't allow for many elective courses, and wasting your only elective on something irrelevant to your program can make achieving career goals very difficult.
Sean, I'm here with Christina Caruso from the women's volleyball team. Christina, have you been faced with many situations where you're forced to choose between school and sport?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, what was your coach's position like on the matter? Like, was your coaching staff lenient about missing class for practice for class, or did they have a school comes second mentality?
When I had contacted my coach during the summer before the season, he gave us our practice schedule beforehand, and basically I had to take my courses and put them around the volleyball schedule. So,
Do you feel as though these are appropriate suggestions for a university student?
no, because there was a course that I was interested in that was gender studies, and I wasn't able to take it because my practice schedule was during the time of that course. So.
Okay, so you had to work around.
I had to work around and pick different courses that I wasn't necessarily interested in.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And it's back to you, Sean.
Students attend university to obtain a higher education. Being put in a situation where you cannot study in your field of interest in order to participate in one of the school's extracurricular activities contradicts the main purpose of the institution.
Thanks, Sean. I'm here with Mike Ballard from the men's volleyball team. Mike, do you have any conflicts this year while playing for the varsity team when you had to choose between school and sport?
No, I didn't. I did not. I had a couple teammates that did though, and but younger,
He's a school-first kind of guy.
Okay. Do you know how he managed to avoid conflict throughout the year? Do you have any systems or anything you went to?
Yeah, he planned our practices around our schedules, school schedules.
Okay.
And so by doing that, though, we had to practice late at night, and that made it harder to get up in the morning for the early classes.
Are appropriate suggestions being a university student, or do you think that having later practice might have taken its toll on you?
No, I'm pretty glad that there was a conflict. But even though the classes, my practices were so late, it made me not do so well. Feel like I was doing so well.
Morning classes. Right?
Yeah, morning classes. Hard to get up, hard to pay attention, do well.
Okay. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thank you.
And we'll send it back to you, Sean.
The idea of after-school practices works well in high school, but at university, when school doesn't always end until 9 at night, having practices at this time is not always conducive to success in the classroom the next morning.
So Sean, I believe you experienced similar issues playing on the men's varsity team earlier this season. Would you care to explain your story to our viewers?
Yes, Granger. Playing for the men's varsity soccer team this year, I was unfortunately facing many conflicts between school and sport. My minor here at Nipissing is visual arts. This is an evening course that unfortunately conflicted with one practice a week while I was playing for the varsity team. My coach told me that as long as I continued to miss practice for class, I would never really be a part of the team and I would never see the field. He then continued to inform me that if I wished to play next year, I should choose classes that better suit the soccer team's needs.
Sean, do you think this was an appropriate suggestion by your varsity coach?
No, I don't feel like that's an appropriate way to deal with the conflict between school and sport. As for most varsity athletes, their athletic program is not going to lead them to their career path, whereas their academic instruction is.
As you can see, athletes of both genders and with varying athletic backgrounds are all faced with the challenge of coaches who do not emphasize the student and student-athlete. As individuals who are hired by and are therefore ambassadors to the university, shouldn't they have a more appreciative view of the academic environment that universities represent?
Yes, Granger. As an institute of higher learning, it is the belief of many who are paying to attend that everyone employed by the university should place academic success as the #1 priority. Keep watching Nipissing News. The discussion continues about the issue of putting the student back in student-athlete.